Welcome to Sports Talk. I'm your host, Tom. Let's get started. All right, starting off in the NFL, we're going to break down the AFC and NFC. We're just a few weeks away from the playoff race, so it's just easier to do it this way. AFC is a little bit tighter. You got 10 of the 16 teams that are above 500, and out of those 10 teams, none of them have 10 wins. So your top 10 teams are only separated by 2 wins between all 10 of them. In the AFC, I'd power ranking of a top three. I would go with Kansas City being number one, New England being number two, and it's a toss up for me between Tennessee and San Diego for number three. Tennessee has some really bad losses. I believe they lost to the Jets, the Jags, and the Texans, all struggling teams this year. San Diego has a really poor run defense, and their offensive inconsistencies, due to injuries mainly, is a lot to overlook. For that reason, I kind of give Tennessee the edge, mainly because they've done it for the last couple years without major names. They will get Derrick Henry back in time for the playoffs, so I just feel that they know who they are. They play solid defense, and they just smash mouth football, and I think that works for this division this time of the year. NFC is a little bit more of a three-team race. You got 6 of the 16 teams that are above 500, and out of those 6, 3 of them actually have 10 wins. And those 3 are the ones that I put in my power rankings as a top 3 in the NFC. Number 1 being Tampa Bay, until they get knocked off as the champion. I think they're the ones to beat in the NFC. Followed by Green Bay, who Aaron Rodgers is playing phenomenal this year once again. It's amazing to think that he might be a free agent next year. And then finally, Arizona. The younger team, the team that's coming together late. They, not as far as in the season, but just it's a team that, they added a few pieces this offseason, and it's showing that they were the right calls. Maybe next week or later on this week before the Thursday night game, maybe we can put out another video, do some predictions for the entire week, or maybe I put it out Friday and we skip the Thursday night game. Just a little sneak peek of what we could do later on. The NBA is about a quarter of the way done with their season. Not even at the All-Star break and or the trade deadline. So it's still a lot of basketball to be played. Some of the major milestones there is Steph Curry any day should be the new leader of three-point made field goals in the NBA history. Clearly the best shooter that we've ever seen in this game of basketball. He will be passing Ray Allen, who passed Reggie Miller, and then you put Klay Thompson in there, and those are the 4 best shooters of all time. So congratulations to Steph, and it's been pretty awesome watching that shooting touch for the last few years. Another story out west is the Lakers having a rough start. I do believe it's not that rough, and they have, even though they are older, and they are one of the few teams with LeBron on it and Russell that can get a 4th or a 5th seed and they'll be fine. It's actually kind of better for them to get a 4th or a 5th seed because you're not going to be facing a middle of the road team. Then you go to a team like Phoenix out west. So you got Phoenix and Golden State up top. Phoenix looks really good. Their whole thing is chemistry. They've been doing it for a couple years now. This team's the same. JaVale McGee's been a big upgrade as a backup center for them. Even with Ayton out, he's really stepped up and played well for them. Phoenix just looks really well. The only thing they have to worry about is health. They need to get healthy for playoff time. We got a long time before then, so staying healthy and getting healthy for that time, I believe, will be key for them. Lakers, they just have to work on chemistry, and then Golden State's waiting to get Klay Thompson back, and they're already doing phenomenal, so that would be crazy to see. Out east, it's more of the 2-team race with Brooklyn and Milwaukee. There's been a few surprise teams on both east and west. Out east would be Chicago, and they've been able to do it with their tempo and athleticism. They play a really fast-paced game, very few turnovers, and they have athletes at every position. So I know that's easy to say for most NBA teams, but Chicago really has it. Out west, there's a team, Memphis, who I believe is playing really well, really above average basketball for them. They have, I believe, 6 players in averaging double-digit points, another 4 or 5 in between 6 and 8 points, and then another 3 or 4 between 3 and 6 points. So, I mean, that's 14 people they play in rotation that can give you some buckets, give you some points, and give you some valuable minutes in the NBA, which is impressive. The problem with them, one, Ja Morant's hurt right now. When he comes back, that'll help them out a lot, tremendously. And then two, they are out west, so they have to be able to do this all year long, and then again in the playoffs, which is going to be very hard for them. And then my third surprise team coming out of the East is actually Cleveland. It's kind of fun to talk about them. If anybody knows me, that's my personal favorite team is the Cleveland Cavaliers. But they're really playing well together, and they're doing it with defense and assist. Defensively, they're able to rotate almost everyone. They have Jared Allen in the middle, Evan Mobley, who's probably Rookie of the Year as of right now. And they run just a big lineup. They attacked the East a little different than everybody else. They went after defense while everybody else is going offense. I think it's super exciting. They're a top 10 team in assists, and I believe in the last week they've been in the top 3 for team assist as well. So they're playing great defense and they're playing team offense, which is what you want to see out of a young team. They're young. They still got a couple years before I feel they could do any real damage. But it's just really promising to see a young core like that coming together well with JB Bickerstaff as their coach. With that being said, once again, maybe we'll do some predictions for the week with NBA games and be able to get into that into some later on videos. I just want to give a shout out to Juliana Pena, who beat Amanda Nunes in the second round via rear naked choke in the UFC 269. That's considered one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. Amanda Nunes is one of the greatest pound for pound female and fighters of all time. The fact that Pena beat her the way she did just gave you a clue of how ready Pena was for that fight. She definitely attacked Amanda Nunes, and just the little bit I do get to watch UFC, I have never seen Amanda back up that much, and looked like she was fighting to stop the onslaught of punches as opposed to beating Juliana. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense, but she was being more panicky in her attack than I've ever seen her. And the tap was really quick. It did seem like she didn't even have her hooks in. She didn't even really set up the choke the way you're supposed to, and she was able to get her to tap within just seconds of having that choke in. So I think she just really broke her down mentally, which was extremely surprising to watch. Extremely. That was a good card. It was a good fight, and if there's anything coming up, maybe we'll do some predictions on that as well. Please leave any comments, concerns, anything you may have. Please leave them in the comment section, and I'll answer it, and we'll maybe have a little debate that way.